We were the anti-nuclear capital of the world. I was an autistic kid. My father was a drafted United States Marine, an incredible man. I come from an incredible family. My uncle stood on Omaha Beach on D-Day. I grew up on a huge ranch out by the lake. He was a beautiful, incredible person. He was at Pendleton, combat ready, and they were human guinea pig. They were marched into the trenches in Nevada. They're called atomic veterans. He nearly died at the blast. Between 1951 and 1968, we had 300 open-air tests. Well, as different scientists started to write about this, Wallace Stegner was at the University of Utah at the time. I got to know him. Edward Abbey was hanging around there. I got to know him. I got to know all these environmentalists, and I was an environmentalist, and it was a passionate, intense subject matter there.
All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Plumegate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Plumegate, 311, whatever you want to call it. I call it Pacific genocide, whatever. It's fucking giant conspiratorial across all demographics. They'll be calling you a radical. May God have mercy on all of your souls.
Nuclear power was evolving. We were promised, oh, this can't happen.
Well, calling out of your Douglas Snuggies, I'm in the Rocky Mountains still. I live in the Rocky Mountains, but I'm a little further north. I'm in Calgary, Canada. I'm up here with a lot of the infamous hardcore activists that have been on this from the inception, the real true blue hardcore Fukushima. We've been together. We've done a lot of work up here together. It's been pretty amazing. Calgary is an incredible place, really incredible, amazing city. Oh, wow. Big, giant, wide open vistas. You know, you think, well, I think I got wide open vistas in the western United States. Whoa, come up here. Holy cow, a little car ride up here, a small car ride up here is 3 hours. But the Rockies are incredible up here, but a lot of news on Fukushima, more malice, the propaganda machine, the death zone, you know, the whole cover-up, the denial, the economic denial. I actually, you know, watched CNBC this morning. I don't have a TV, so in the room, had it on this morning. These lunatics, the propaganda machine, are really saying this. Oh, the United States economy will be at full employment. This is how insane this country is turning. What is that old, we use as economists, that line? Figures don't lie, liars figure. Oh boy, is it turned into a liar's figure. For really full employment when they've skewed the way that we count unemployment. Now, people need to understand, this thing has all happened in the last 15, 20 years. Off balance sheet accounting. Now, you think about that. I was on Wall Street when that thing happened. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm an analyst. I was a semiconductor analyst at that time. How can I read a balance sheet? Off balance sheet? That's like freaking walking around with a blindfold on. I mean, it's insanity. So now the unemployment rates. I like to watch the participation rate. The unemployment rate, now, people need to understand this. The only way you're counted on the unemployment rate in the United States is if you're on unemployment benefits. Everybody's unemployment benefits run out. People compartmentalize, and we go along with this pseudo-de facto government, this pseudo-de facto reality that people have created in their minds. Oh, the economy's getting better. Yeah, for a certain few people. The vast majority, the participation rate's the lowest since 1979 for the very opposite reason. 1979, we really did have full employment. We had no debt. We had a really healthy economy. How did we pull that off? Oh, we were still using tariffs. Bill Wallacrown. Oh, people still gave a shit about slavery. It's like Fukushima. You know, the whole Usury complex, really Fukushima's the quintessential slavery. They're using slaves to so-called clean it up. I mean, just that fact alone. You think about that. They're using the mob. Slaves. These people are going to work by gunpoint, dying by the thousands over there. They're going on the backside. They're using hundreds of thousands of homeless slaves to clean up Fukushima. Just that fact alone should have the American populace outraged. Remember, all you dogma snuggers, all you dogma burger-eating, postured grown sleepers. Number one, the country flipped out about Catholic League givers, sweatshop. Now the whole country's lock, stock, barrel, all North America, all in sweatshops. By the way, have you taken a look at the solar stocks? Hello, when I was in Washington, D.C., I stayed with a bunch of fake activists. And the fake activists I stayed with, because that's how it's gone, because these great philanthropists leave their homes, leave their money for these causes. And these people come hijack these homes and turn them into, they've ruined them. You know, Thomas's house, you know, they have been hijacked by a bunch of dirty hippies, for real. So has Nader's group, so has Beyond Nuclear. Oh, I stayed with those freaking dirty hippie freaks. And they really are dirty, freaking loser-ass hippies, which they're not hippies, and I can't even think how they call themselves that. I knew the real hippies back in the day. Those people were hard workers. Those people that, not these phony fraud pieces of dog shit. Beyond hypocrites, it's disgusting what these fuckers. So everybody is living a pseudo-de facto lie. Put on the hippie uniform. They're walking around with their kids with peace signs on, having a latte. And are you kidding me? It's pathetic. But I did meet a couple real ones there. And the real ones that I met there, they had hardcore activists, real ones, intelligent, dynamic people. A couple of them. They had went to work installing solar panels in D.C. for solar, for one of the solar companies. The solar company was IPO'd 2 years ago, $4 a share. I just seen it flat across the ticker, $72 a share. So one thing, the economics of this, will it clean it up? Yeah, you absolutely would if we would let it happen. But here's the problem, Price Anderson. It's like, okay, San Onofre. I've been fighting San Onofre for 40 years. The whole shutdown of San Onofre, people didn't think it could happen. You know, I'm doing a lot of my activism from my room. I mean, it was so compelling. I'm in critical condition in that room. They told us that San Onofre made up 12% of the Western grid. I've been telling them they're liars for 20 years. I'll have major rolling blackouts. San Onofre's been offline for 3 years. 3 years. Hottest summer in the history of the Western United States, barring shattered every record you could ever think of. No rolling blackouts. They make up because of the military-industrialized complex gone amok. Now in Utah, we have the military-industrialized complex. I mean, nuclear plants they're outdated, they're gone, the technology is over, solar's already replaced it. Not going to, could, already replaced it. I rode on the plane with the LA California Initiative chair on the solar, which they are the hallmark for success. What Los Angeles did, what Southern California did, as far as moving to solar. So it's like this. Some guy comes to you, knocks on your business door and says, hey, you know, how much you paying in your energy cost a year? You know, you own 45 condos, 3 buildings, and your 2 freaking houses. How much you pay? Well, I paid, you know, $700,000 a year in energy costs. I can take it down to $70,000 immediately, and it will cost you $30,000. And not only the $30,000, we could spread that out over 50 years, and California will help you pay for it. You don't think they do it? Oh, they fucking do it. They do it right here, right now. The whole fucking place is all solar. You go to Southern California, you will see solar panels on every single thing, including, I'm the one that exposed at the San Onofre parking lot. They don't even believe in their own shit. I shot those videos Look up there. The employee parking lot at San Onofre has solar panels. They don't believe in their own fucking shit. Nuclear plants exist in the world for one reason and one reason only. Nuclear weapons. And nuclear weapons exist for one reason only. To point their nuclear weapons at other countries and threaten them so they can steal their natural resources. ISA in Iraq. Don't you love it? Don't you love how they can make up these fucking names? They just continue. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. Went off to cash. Now it's ISIS. Oh, wait, they just make this shit up. It's just fucking totally all fucking made up, the American propaganda machine. Oh, the Olympics in Tokyo 2020. Really? Are you people insane? Are you people insane? The propaganda machine, NBC's, and that's what I don't understand about these fucking pieces of shit, no good, weasel, lazy, no balls, cotton balls attorneys. Can't put cotton balls so you can get the wind out of your camera. Fuck you. You know, it's like these people are in their, all these people, they live their whole lives in their basement, in their house, they compartmentalize. Oh, the economy must be okay. What? Honey, did you know we refinanced our house 3 times? Oh, yeah, but CNBC says our house is worth $700,000. Go try fucking selling it. The only place that's benefiting from this horrible economy, we have the perfect storm for poverty in this country. This is fastly becoming a third world country. Fastly. The hallmark of a third world country, debt, corruption. This country's so corrupt, we have the perfect storm. The neo-right has been totally hijacked by Operation Foxconn and ran free market fairy tales terrorists. By the way, they're terrorists. Hardcore, lunatic, kill, fucking, fake fucking hairspray apparatus. The left has been hijacked by thrashing the fucking dollar to fucking increase fucking tourism in New York City and San Francisco. There's only 2 fucking places. Well, southern Utah, we benefit too. And in Utah, we're fastly becoming, and a lot of places around the United States are fastly becoming. It's not the military-industrialized complex. It's fastly becoming the cancer-industrialized complex. The number one industry in Utah is tourism. It's fastly being gained on, and will be passed very soon, cancer treatment. By the way, they're the biggest frauds in the history of the world. Let me tell you about Huntsman, John Huntsman. John Huntsman, one of the richest men on earth. CNBC in 1999 did the 10 richest people on earth and spent a week at their house. John Huntsman was one of them. Okay, let me tell you about it. He invented the styrene styrofoam. They own 357 fucking plants around there. They're the benzene producers of the world. By the way, he stole the technology. Stole it. So now, not only does they give you cancer all the way, they fly you in. You go to the Huntsman Cancer Center, it's like a giant hotel. It's like the Ritz-Carlton. You go in there, our hospital does it perfectly. That ex-husband doctor's part of them. You want to eat the good food, stay in the hotel, go to Huntsman. You want to live, come here. So when I was on the airplane, by the way, get this, I'm at Salt Lake, on United. Now, you won't believe this story. We're sitting on the plane getting ready to leave, and they go to put up the door, and the door come off the hinge. Oh, we got a problem. The door come off the hinge. Oh, what the fuck? So we will have a technician. Oh, it'll just be a quick fix. He's trying to fix it. The pilot gets off. The door jams, and nobody can get off the plane for an hour and a half, and the pilot can't get back on. Finally, they get the door open, the pilot comes back on. He says, God, I've been trying to get back on. We're gone. We need to get you guys off the plane. Get us off the plane. Delay flights 4 fucking hours. People fucking scrambling all over. They hand me a food voucher for $7. I have it. For $7 fucking dollars. I'm like, do you know what a hamburger costs in an airport? $8. Take your voucher, stick it up your fucking ass. That's America, because we don't hold any accountability. You know, that fucking buck-tooth, fucking crater-faced tooth little creep on CNBC, Rick Santelli. I ever see that fuck, I'd drop him like a bag of fucking dirt. I'd like to crack him in his crooked fucking teeth. That lunatic. Yeah, I like how the taxpayer, have me the taxpayer, I got a coach. In America, and you need to sit back and let them do it. Look, the media not, and I've said it, I stood in front of the White House at the Million Mask Man March, and I gave that speech. Not only, it's not yellow journalism. I termed it black and yellow journalism. That is mine. Now, black and yellow journalism, we know what yellow journalism is. That's what Fox News does all day. Fearmonger, you fucking America, home of the cowards. You lick your gold bars and you fucking, I gotta get me a gun. They want to come in my house and steal my Walmart shit. Nobody wants your fucking Walmart shit. Nobody wants your fucking junk. You fucking cowards. Overcompensation for fucking whatever. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But the media now, they use it as a weapon. They use it as a weapon. That is against the law. That's against all law. It's called malice. It's premeditated. It's sick. So when NBC comes out, oh, they're going to let them back in 2021. Malice, by definition. Nobody's back in there forever. It can't be cleaned up. Chernobyl, Chernobyl, Chernobyl. Not just like, yeah, oh, we'll just freaking slowly fucking feed you. Fucking cancer, the new norm. And you know, I heard they say, oh, I don't like that terminology, the new norm. I don't give a fuck what any of you fucking fainting goats fucking like. You don't like the truth, that's obvious. That's fucking obvious that fucking no one likes truth. All little army, that's what we're about. We're simply fucking identifying the truth as it happens in reality. It's like my YouTube videos. I got the same rat fucking sicko wacko trolls. By the way, all these fuckers, I have the software and the technology via Google because my retention is so high. I'm in what they call the third tier analytical. I get the third tier analytical that no one gets. I can see who you are. The same rats, I have the same couple rats who watch every single, I can watch click, who clicked it, how you clicked it, where you clicked it from, where you fucking live from. That's available on Google Analytical's fucking tool at third tier. So the same lunatics, I know exactly who they are, sit and watch my videos all around and click the dislike. Now what kind of sicko motherfucker is that? I mean, you fucking, you don't like me, you don't like me, then why you fucking sit and watch me? What the fuck is the point of all that? I mean, that's such insanity. This is a sick populace. Look, the participation rate is fucking, there are more people in this country right now not working than working. I've got a bunch of background noise. I hope you guys are still hanging in there with me. Like I said, I've had serious phone decking call these, you know, with T-Mobile. They are some serious rats. Look at these guys now. So, but anyway, the unemployment rate in this country, there are more people not working than working. Now remember, when they tell you there's 315 million people in the United States, they're not counting the so-called illegal. There's really 350 million, 10 times the population in the United States and Canada. Yeah, there are more. The cash economy in the United States right now is bigger than the real economy. That's definitely a hallmark of a third world company. Much bigger, much bigger. So it's not about laws, it's about the enforcement of law. So we have laws that we don't enforce, we have laws that we do enforce. So how do we pick it? I mean, that's insanity. That's insanity by definition. It's against the law to pay someone cash, but everyone does it. What happens? So you're in your neighborhood, you live in your own community, which, by the way, everybody in the United States, oh, they know who the President of the United States is, and that's about I know a Sarah Palin name or these so-called, they have no clue who the congressman, they have no clue who the senator, they have absolutely no idea who their local government and how their local government works. Their state senator, no clue. That whole process, so what's happening at the local level? Hardcore corruption because no one's paying attention. Everybody's so worried about, oh, Obamacare, all these things. At the local level, these guys are just looting you. So here you live in a community, and everybody's like, I'm building my great big house because, and let's get real what that's all about. And everybody plays it, and they can lie. We hijacked the appraisal process here 20 years ago. That these appraisals come in and give these pseudo-de factos working in symphony with banks. And by the way, the credit scoring agencies are the most corrupt apparatus in the world. They are the banks. So what they do is they're giving you appraisals based on square footage. So people just build big, ugly, empty space so they can refinance it higher and higher and just leverage and leverage and leverage up. So you think about it. You're building this big, ugly box that you've built in the last 15, 20 years, or you bought one, your condo, whatever, your house, completely being built by illegal labor. All of it. Some hairspray, fat-ass, hamburger-eating fucking exploiter who has no skills, didn't grow up in any trades, he's just a good exploiter. So here he comes, the exploiter. The exploiter comes along, sells you a bill of goods, and he's paying cash. What do you do in your own community? There's no tax base. Completely annihilating the tax base. So where do they get their tax revenue? From your property tax on your house in the United States. They just keep raising property taxes. And you're bitching about the federal level, and at the local level, you're paying so much in property tax, it is outrageous. And you get he had a couple $1 million cash. Oh, I'll go to San Diego, I'm going to buy me a house for cash, blah, blah. And I says, what good's that going to do you? Do you understand what property tax is there? Do you understand what you're going to pay insurance on that house? Do you have any clue? So I met with him when I was down there at the USS Reagan hearing last year. He says, yeah, I'm paying $2,600 a month in insurance and property tax. I says, yeah, that worked out good for you. You gave up your entire chunk of money, leveraged up in the house, so you think you own the house. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. Property taxes keep raising and raising, and they're looting you at the local level, but people have no clue. I can prove it. You go to, San Onofre, for instance. San Onofre, the 212 hearing that we pushed for, that 212 hearing of 2013, I'm ranting and raving San Onofre from my room. I had the platform, and then you got to remember I had the platform then. My view count does no justice. In those days, when I put up a video, 50,000, 100,000 views, as it was regurgitated in mirror image everywhere. It was a compelling story with the central line hanging out. I've been fighting San Onofre from detail. There was a lot of information being leaked out of inside San Onofre to me and other people, and it was getting into the media. We showed up at that hearing. I shot those videos. Tony Ray and I shot those videos at the San Onofre. I said, forget the meeting, Johnny. Let's get right to the plan. So let's go. No media. I mean, it's obscene to me that no media covers anything. You know, RT promises they're going to be at the Megan Rice hearing. Al Jazeera's promised me they're going to be at the Megan Rice hearing. NBC, ABC, all of them said they were going to be at the Megan Rice hearing. None of them showed up. None of them. I was the only media at the Megan Rice hearing. The most historical event in the anti-nuclear fight, in the environmental fight, in the social inequality fight, probably in 100 years. You think there'd be just jam media everywhere? No, it was me. I was the only media there. Inside the courtroom, I mean, it's obscene to me. So the local hearing, we packed that house. It was overflowing. I got kicked out before I could even speak. They're following me around. Johnny Hall could testify to it. They're following me around. The NRC is a corrupt cabal of mob. These are criminals. When are you people going to wake up and realize this is the fight for? This is a war. This is a war. These are criminals. The media are criminals. They are, and with malice. That's against the law. It's premeditated. It's not yellow. It's black and yellow. So what they do, they attack, they lie. Not just misinform or present whatever spin they want. No, they intentionally lie with a full blown out intent to kill you. It's a war. Cancer kills you. Leukemia kills you. You know, we got into a big debate yesterday about the canary in the coal mine with nuclearism, and it's, thyroid cancer, of course, but there's something that happens earlier than that. It's birth defects. Happened to me, autism. It's heart attacks in babies and children. We're seeing it spiked hardcore dramatic all over, everywhere. That's the canary. Then thyroid cancer, but then the bigger one, and it happens fast. We're having USS Reagan. By the way, the USS Reagan, you think that was the ship in there? Yeah, it was in there. The entire fleet was in there. Now, we're getting FOIA documents now. Shane Russell's the FOIA document guy, not freaking, what's his name, the heroin addict who claimed he was, who was in the crack house And then about a year and a half later, woke up, somebody told him a thing about Fukushima. By the way, I own all the domains to Plumgate. He stole that from me. He tried. He ain't stealing shit from me. Try. I know what I'm doing. I started reporting that John Holdren was running the show at Fukushima, and John Holdren, the head of the snake at Cal Berkeley, is a eugenics guy. He showed me a FOIA document from the early days, the argument going back and forth with the Admiral. Yeah, the Admiral, the Navy, the guy, Joint Chief of Staff, the guy. Holdren arguing with him. Those guys had issued the warning in the inception through the United States Navy. You know how massive that fleet is in Japan? You know how many U.S. Navy personnel is in Japan? They issued a warning. They not only wanted all their men out of there, they also wanted any American out of there. And it was Holdren who says, no, you will fear the panic. John Holdren wrote 2 books on eugenics. He's the guy that made the bet in 1980 on his PhD about the overpopulation. Now you think about it. He's a eugenics guy. Now you think about the whole concept of eugenics. Leukemia kills older males, older women. You know, it kills everybody. It kills a lot of girls. You know, it's killing a guy like me. I think I'm a little old to be having children, but what's the bigger picture in the eugenics with radiation? Sterilization. It sterilizes. It changes the productive system, but not just in people, in animals. It alters it dramatically in animals. The canary in the coal mine, how about the grebes crashing into the freaking road, they said, in Utah died. The eagles eating the grebes and all the eagles fucking dying. Right there. The energy solutions. We know. How about all us 2-legged, beer-drinking mammals? There was a group of us where I live in the fall. I got sick October of 2011. There was a group of about 20, 30 of us. All got hardcore sick at the exact same time. Leukemia. And I'm very close, became very close. Some of them I were close with it. One of my friends that lived not far from me a couple months got sick the exact day. He was dead in 3 months. Paul got sick the same month. We were lifelong child friends, grew up in the same place, that whole thing. He died 2013, February. I mean, I go on and on and on. This isn't going to happen, could happen. It's happening. It's unbelievable how without the media, we have nothing. We have nothing. So we have to be the media now. I mean, it's pretty outrageous. Olympics 2020. What a propaganda fucking show. Oh, they're going to have it all cleaned up by 2021. Yeah, Chernobyl's all cleaned up, huh? What's Chernobyl 28 years ago? Go over there. Go over there. You know how big the exclusion zone there is? You know what life expectancy in Belarus and Ukraine is post-Chernobyl? They lowered the average age in the whole region by 25%. Here in the United States, well, I'm in Canada, in North America, the CDC, the liars that they are in the United States, calls it already. They've already started calling it the cancer pandemic. This year, and this is I'm a socioeconomist. I love watching this. Certain types of data, you can tell everything of where we're heading. It's like the economy. You want to be good at investment? Just find the hardcore, radical, neocon right, the Glenn Becks, the fools, all these people that jump into economics that have no background. Finance is like a foreign language and have no background. When you see whatever the hard right tells you, the lunatic hard right, whatever they say, you go exactly the opposite. You will be 100% on the money every time. They're dead wrong every single time. So, for years and years and years, the number one killer of children in this country was automobile accidents. Last year it switched. It's cancer. The number one killer of our children is cancer. Kids. Oh, there's a cure. No, there's not. No, there's not. The CDC calls it the cancer pandemic. That's their words, not mine. They say females under the age of 40 in the United States, 85% of them will deal with cancer in their lives. Oh, we'll just cut off our breasts before it happened. We'll cut out our ovaries before who the fuck? I mean, this fucking lunatic, what's her name that's married to fucking Brad Pitt? You know, and I always go back to 12 Monkeys. I always go back to his brilliant, incredible rant in 12 Monkeys. And he talks about, and I think this is so important, and people think this is all fairy tale land, and they don't think it's reality. 100 years before Louis Pasteur, there was this scientist in Germany. And he was hypothesizing, saying this: look, you doctors got to start washing your hands and sterilize your equipment. When you're helping a woman in childbirth, there's these little invisible germs that move back and forth via the air. They're airborne. They conduct through all kinds of different things, and they cause infection, and that's what's killing these people. He not only was he spit on, kicked on, and considered insane by everyone, he was so considered insane that he was put into a mental institution. Day 14, he killed himself. I mean, we can go on and on about this in history. It's like, okay, the epidemic in 1918 in the United States, which hammered San Francisco, by the way, just, denial then. The government did exactly. I mean, there's a playbook on this. Holdren's telling the admiral, no, don't put panic, and, just backing out. Ill fuckers. These people don't think it can happen to them. They don't. They think somehow their money is going to save them. I don't know what they think. It's American exceptionalism. Abalco. It's insanity. It's insanity. In San Francisco, in 1918, they played the same playbook. People were dying. Everybody knew they were dying. People get sick inside families all over our town. I used to make my students go walk through the cemetery and take a log. How many young deaths in that year? The media participated in the cover-up. Hardcore participated in the cover-up. Well, it kept getting bigger and bigger, and finally they couldn't cover it up no more. When the mobs turned, who did they turn on? Well, they turned on the media. And look it up. It's like in the 1930s, nobody wants to talk about this, and it's recorded history. Says, I've never read that. Yeah, because they're reading the wrong shit. Well, you never seen on Fox News that in the 30s, the child labor, slavery abuse that was going on, the Italian and the Irish kids in the steel factories of Pittsburgh, all over, in the shirtwaist fire, young girls, children, all through those complexes for years and years and years and years and years. And I've said this for years. This is why you don't ever abuse or be mean to children. You always respect children. More than anybody, you respect children. I'll tell you why. Because they grow up to be adults. Now let me tell you about those adults when they grew up. Exploited by these monsters, these CEOs, these creeps exploited. They grew up to be men. They organized. And when these monsters freaking kept going, even though they were organized in denial of the reality of the economic situation, the mobs went to their houses. Do you know how many CEOs, how many people were executed? That's how that played out. But it was violent, it was bloody, and it was ugly. Because, violence begets violence. We're playing denial. Yeah, you got a populace that's doing just fine. You're working the corporate structure and you're at the top end and looking at your stock options or whatever. But you're working class. Working class has been annihilated. So what's the answer? I used to love that Babylon moron fucking Greenspan, the greatest terrorist in human history, the ugliest fucker who ever lived. Besides his wife, she's even anti-porn. He says, American productivity has increased for another fucking 48th consecutive quarter. All that meant was Americans working longer. Now, we know Frederick Taylor's incredible work proved that that any worker after the 40-hour becomes regressive. That's why the 40-hour work is it's a psychological study, and it's been proven over and over and over. Any worker is productive working 40 hours a week with health benefits, with all these things that employers are forced to give through labor rights. It's been proven Well, Americans work in three service. I mean, keeps the service-based economy. Service-based economies only work when there's disposable income. What do you think the low interest rate's about? They know the only way these people have disposable income, they got to continue to refinance their house. And the Fed will tell you themselves, they'll call it inflating your way out. Well, that's exactly what they've done. They've inflated their way out the so-called asset class. Now, let's talk about this, the asset class. Who is the asset class? You got stock options, you own business, building, real estate, you own a mine, you own a... Well, isn't it really pretty much most of America working in asset class because they had a 401k? No, their house. So in 2003, the massive inflation happened in 03, 04, 05, 06. Okay, so you think about it. Your house, via the low interest rate, the Fed only has one tool, interest rate, and they blew that whole tool. We have a negative interest rate. We've had a negative interest rate since 2009. You say, what are you talking about? QE1, QE2, QE3, the interest rate was zero, so they went and bought bonds. By definition, pseudo de facto, that is a negative interest rate. Japan's had a negative interest rate for 20 years. 20 years they've had a negative interest rate. So what does that do? Does it inflate? Yeah, to a certain level, and then it becomes uninflatable anymore. It pops. It happened in 2008, so they reinflated on Balco via the bailout. Now, remember, the bailout wasn't just letting criminals off the hook and just giving these criminals money. They gave their wives millions of dollars, just said, go spend it. It was such hardcore criminal looting of America. So it's the same old psychology with your child, with a relationship. If this person's doing bad things, and they do bad things, and there's no consequences for those actions. None. They're going to do them again. Housing bubble 2.0 on Balco. Get ready, because it's going to happen, because I can tell you why and how. It's going to take a while. We got a ways to go. It's going to take a while, but I'll tell you why. Because there's not a sustainable job market to add the numbers. You can do the numbers on the baby boomers. 85 million of them. The average age is getting to be well into their 60s now. Who's going to pick up the slack? What? The millenniums? Making $8 an hour serving coffee, working 2 jobs? Yeah, here, go dive into a 500. Not because mortgage you can't afford. We'll trap you in it. We'll balloon the payments later. They don't care. Greed. But they're smarter than that. The millennials, I call them the post-ignorance generation. They're not going to fall for it. They don't want your big, ugly styrofoam piece of fucking shit that is still using old, outdated energy to fucking heat it. Fucking, the energy costs. Fucking, who wants the property tax and the insurance? And all, they're looking like, fuck you. Why do we want that fucking piece of shit? They don't want them. They want them. Do you realize how many fucking dwellings have been built in the United States? And growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of cancer cells. Edward Abbey. By the way, I want to say this, and I didn't realize this. Talking to a lot of Canadians up here, this is where Stegner was born and raised, right here. The greatest American writer in his Western writer ever. He born and raised in Canada, Alberta. Get out of these short stories, Will Wisp. Read them. They're magnificent. They're about this region here, as he migrated his father to Great Falls, Montana, and then to Stanford, the great thing, and found Edward, and then to the University of Utah. Utah, the environmentalist. That's where I found him. That's where they all showed up. There's a reason they all showed up in Utah. Because we were the ground zero, American ground zero, Carol Gallagher. She's still alive and well. Mormon country. We were paramount. We were front and foremost in the anti-nuclear fight. Oh, did we fight? Not now. Accepted? Utah, the cancer capital of the world. The cancer industrialized complex. Oh, yeah. Not only do they give you cancer, then they rob you. And I'm here to tell you, yeah, I had quite a bit of money. Several times in my life. Complex. It's complex, my story. When I got cancer, the average treatment for AML leukemia is $1.6 million. The cancer for nuclear-caused AML leukemia is the most evil, hardcore, radical thing you ever seen. These free radicals are set free in your body by nuclearism. They mow you down so fast you have no time. When you land in those units, the way the medical industry works in this country, you think, oh, I'm well insured. Oh, yeah, take a look at your copay. Take a look at your cap. Even the best of the best insurances in this country have $1 million cap. Fuck, you're going to eat that up so fast? Not only cap, think about the 10, 15% copay. 1.6 million, that's average. That's if you survive. So here's the way it works. You can't have more than $2,000. Period. You can have your house, which you're all leveraged up, who the fuck wants it, and you can have your car. That's it. You have to fork over everything you got. I forked over every single fucking penny I had. I had a lot of money. You watch me right on YouTube. It kills me. All fucking these fuckers were betting me. $100,000 bets with a lot of guys, even including the likes of Max Kaiser, which I love Max and Stacey. They're geniuses. Max is a genius, but his all-in silver thesis, because he was late. That's what everybody is. It's like Fukushima. Everyone's late. Yeah, if you bought silver at $6 or $5, watch it go to 50. What do you want? It's like gold. You bought it at 225 one night. What do you want? These are commodities. You know what kind of huge score them are the biggest freaking increases in commodity prices in the history of mankind. Oil from freaking $12 a barrel to 160 between 2003 and 2000. What do you people want? Buy low, sell high. Yeah, not buy high, sell low. Going to happen, could happen, looted. But then they even went further. These American exceptionalists, they think. They went further. They poisoned the environment. The great equalizer is Fukushima. Doesn't care how much money you got. Tell that to Tony Gwynn, the brilliant he was. I mean, isn't it true, the good guy young, all these corrupt athletes, all these evil, thieving, steroid, Balco, pieces of shit, every one of them across the board. The only good one who didn't cheat, who was the best one, dies of cancer at 50. Same age as Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, I mean, if he was alive, he'd be the richest man on earth by far right now. His wife probably is the richest person on earth right now. His money didn't save him. They take everything you have. The country's being looted. The greatest crimes against humanity in the history of mankind is Fukushima. Yeah, the event, let's build nuclear reactors in Japan on faults. I mean, I did lecture after lecture after lecture after lecture for years, interview after interview after year, by the hundreds, if not thousands. WC came, we're going to have a nuclear disaster. We have little ones go, what's going to happen? San Onofre, San Diego, Diablo Canyon, Fukushima, Japan. I said it thousands of times. Why? Because just reality, logic, where they built these fucking things. I mean, oh, boy, they don't have earthquakes in Japan? They don't have tsunamis in Japan? What? We don't have earthquakes in Southern California? What? Diablo Canyon built on fault lines? I protested so hardcore when Diablo Canyon, I was there every day down there when Diablo Canyon was being built. Protesting hardcore. Are you people insane? The devil? What? It's malice. It's sick. It's sick. That painting that goes to the front of my things, I call that the nuclear vagina, the nuclear triangle. I did that in 1994. You can see the representation in it. That's them and Russia being pulled in there. That's the Coke machine with the American script on it. America, Japan, United States. That's the triangle. So we've had Chernobyl. 25 years later, we get Fukushima. Fukushima, many times Chernobyl. Chernobyl is an absolute, hardcore, incredible catastrophe that America does not know. That kills every day, all day. Elena just died. The world-class athlete, 30-year-old girl. I think she's a Scot. I think she was Scottish. I think she lived in Perth. But where did she, a little girl, where was she born at? Where did she live when she was a child? In Kiev. The Chernobyl death zone. That's how it kills you. For the most part, it's not going to kill you right now. Now, in a acute situation, we got hammered in Utah, and we had such a predisposition to it. I had a very big predisposition because of my father being nuked and his sperm being lit up. But maybe that's what pushed out of my bone marrow into these tumors. And I got a miracle. I mean, the survival rate of what I have is nearly impossible. I got a miracle. People participate in their own death. It's like our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents, you think they would have went to a Walmart, the new East India Company? Now, you think about that. Every one of you who walk into any of these, and you'll say, oh, well, it's all made in China. You can't. No, it's not. My shirts, we had this argument yesterday. We had this talk yesterday. Somebody had accused me on profiteering off my shirts. I said, that's how ignorant and stupid they are. Eric Jordan designed them. He did that all for free. Eric Jordan is the world class, the greatest, probably, graphic designer, video game designer. You know, he quit. He told them to fuck off, moved to New Zealand. He designed all those, and what those shirts are about, my shirts are about, look at it. Company in Los Angeles and a group in New York that is protesting shirtwaist fire, usury. We don't make 1 penny off those, not one single dime. And it blows my mind. What am I supposed to do? Continue to fucking do all this hard work for everybody for free? I've lived with no money for 3 fucking years while fighting for my life in critical condition. And I've continued to be a humanitarian because that's what humanitarians, Troy yesterday says it's the brotherhood of humanity. As we went to the statues, that's where we started our gig. Us four together, we met in the statues at the Brotherhood of Humanity Park in Calgary. And then we went to the Peace Bridge. Then we went up to the top of the hill, and we put all this together because that's what we are. We're humanitarians. The true blue anti-nuclears, Megan Rice is the protege of Dorothy Day. Who's Dorothy Day? Really? I mean, the fucking Pope. He chooses Francis. That phony motherfucker. Can you believe that guy? Megan Rice, Megan Jr. Her niece told me herself, yeah, he'll get involved when pigs fly. I organized a water riding campaign to the Pope. And some powerful people. I'm involved with some very powerful people. I know for a fact that the Pope got over 20,000 letters concerning Megan Rice. He don't care. He don't care. Because greed, we're only human, and all of us, even these oligarchs, these creeps, these sociopaths, they're still human. They're still people. They still die. They still eat. They still drink. They still have whatever sick emotions they have. But without checks and balances, and we've always known this, without a two-party system, which we don't have a two-party system anymore, to check each other, the 3 branches of government, our forefathers put it together beautifully to be abstract from the world system. We put tariffs at the port. Roads, they use our infrastructure, they use everything that we fucking use as a taxpayer. The baby boomer not only looted all that equity that was built up, this country had no debt, this country was in from our parents and the baby boomers from the greatest generation. That's where I do disagree with Oliver Stone. They really were, because they went through the Depression. They knew what it felt like to be hungry. They knew what it felt like to freaking suffer and be pain. And so they cared about other people because they'd been there. These baby boomers ain't never been there. And so when they do get there, they go in denial. So without these checks and balances, I walk around all the time, graduate students, MBA students that are graduating. My favorite question to ask is, hey, can you tell me the 3 branches of government in the United States? The checks and balances. They don't know. Executive, judicial, and legislative. And they have to check and balance. So what happened? They loaded the Supreme Court. That's the judicial. That's so important. The judicial is not legislative. It's not executive. It's become political. The opposite of what it is intended to be. When Bush stole the election, he loaded the court. He found the most 2 insane sociopath ideologues like he was. I mean, George Prescott Hitler Bush is a sociopath. Hardcore, sick, so just like his father, just like his grandfather. Prescott Bush, Hitler's buddy, hardcore, eugenics, sicko, sociopath. Now, I've been reporting the whole time because I'm involved with the Marines. My father is a Special Force Marine who was murdered. I know the Marine apparatus, the Joint Chief of Staff, all of them. I reported they were using depleted uranium on the Marines clear back in 04, 05. I've been writing about it for a decade. They come out and admit it now. The most biblical, historical place. These arrogant fuckers, in the so-called names of Christianity, wrap themselves on a flag, Foxconn News. Now you think about that. These are the evangelicals who were the base of the Bush war machine. They still are. In the name of Christianity, they killed, wiped out, and maimed the babies for time and all eternity in that biblical place. They admit, yeah, we use depleted uranium all over fucking Iraq. We don't give a fuck. And these fucking evangelicals in hairspray who claim that... I saw this fat fucking blonde-haired fucking blue-eyed fucker on YouTube. He says, are you a coward Christian? Oh, this is about it. And I'm like, fuck you. I'd like to run into this guy. I'll show you a coward. I'd drop that big, fat, stupid fucking blonde-haired, blue-eyed hillbilly like a bag of fucking dirt. That's the coward. Got my AK-47 because I'm scared. Fucking America, licking my gold bars. I thought we were taught as Christians. I know I was taught. We don't worship the golden calf. It's a hardcore sin. We were taught that usury is the ultimate. That Utah, the last place to get rid. I'm telling you, my grandparents in Utah were real Christians at a time. Believe it or not, even the Mormons. David O. McKay, who was the president of the Mormon Church at the time. By the way, ties to Canada. I have a really great picture of him at Lake Louise. We're headed there today. It's so unbelievable to me. The opposite of Christianity. That's what America's turned into. Whatever a person looks at you and their hairspray and these women with their fake fucking breasts and their panties hanging out and their hideous ugly tattoos on them and their Botox fucking faces, you know, so go to trying to hold on to their youth when they never even had a fucking youth. When they look at you and you talk to them, it's like fainting goats. The same in Calgary here. We've been doing interview after interview. Troy. They look at you like a fainting fucking goat. And whatever they present themselves to be, they're the opposite. Oh, we got our kids with peace signs on their fucking shorts. When they all beat the drum. I mean, I love it how we blame Bush, we blame Cheney, we blame, Operation Foxconn. But let's get real. Just like the Federal Reserve. I mean, I could write 50 books on the fucking Fed. Federal Reserve has to report to Congress. And you can go back, Alan Greenspan thesis, the free market fairy tale. Anne Lamb was an atheist, a science fiction writer. How can you adopt her as she was never no fucking economist. She was born in Stalingrad. She was a counterculturalist artist, a science fiction fucking writer. She is to the economy what L. Ron Hubbard is to Scientology. That's all she ever was. How do they adopt that thesis? She was an atheist. How do they adopt that thesis? Who was on public assistance for years? The opposite of who they say they are. That's who the Republican Party has. That's who the Democrat Party is. I can prove it. The Democrat one, I'm in San Francisco. I think it's my best, maybe my one. Well, my video that I did in the Pines, which I have this skill set. My kids know. My kids absolutely love it. I've done it my whole life. I'll take a chair out, and I'll stand on the chair, sit on the chair. Now, when I was young, I used to prove it to everybody. I'd say, watch this. I do this crazy, lunatic, radical dance. Why I do this. And it's not rap, it's the blues. And everybody looks at me like I'm insane in a nightclub or whatever. By the time I'm done, the most beautiful girl in the place will always come up to me and say, hey, can I dance with you? Because I have this thing. So my daughters, when they're little, they say, oh, they love it. They love it. They'll rattle off certain music and the blues or in different genres, and they'll throw them to me. And they'll say, okay, you got 30 seconds, go. And I'll create these songs and these blues and these rants. That's what I did in that one in the Pines. How long must we sing this song? My Fukushima fish hook scar, the lead in my belly, lead belly. I go off on a Springsteen, Stairway to Heaven. Now, you think about those liars. How many, Robert Plant, the genius that he is, the brilliant artist, Beck, I thought he wrote that at 14 years old, Beck. They've done hundreds of interviews talking about how they wrote that. They were lying the whole time. The progressive, freaking brilliant genius that he was in California wrote that song. They stole it. I think he died of cancer, young. Rocketdyne. So my daughters would throw out these three things, and then I go, and I just make it up, and I proverb it. And I compartmentalize it in my brain, but that's the hallmark of an artistic mind via nuclear fallout. How does that happen? That happens because when I was born, you look at the pictures, I have a twin sister that was extremely preemie. My doctor, I had a brilliant progressive doctor at the time. We were mutated from birth. All kinds of issues. You take so many of these people that ended up being these quintessential artists, writers that did all these things. There's no doubt they were autistic. Now, how's the overdiagnosis thing? It's insane what they've done to autism. Well, how they can, Jenny McCarthy, that's the perfect thing. That fucking phony slut makes me fucking want to puke. But she ruined the autism fucking fight. Autism is caused by nuclear fallout before you're even born. The parent gets radiated, whether it be mother in the womb or the father, and it could be radiated for years. His sperm, his chromosome is changed. Look, nuclear radiation, nuclear fallout changes the DNA of every single living thing on the face of the fucking planet. The natives have always known that, long before nuclear even happened. All of it. It alters it. There's a chain. We have this predisposition. All of us. You all have Chernobyl in you. You all have that 350 open-air test, the open-air mass murder complex. Those two little twins mutated. Boy-girl twins, you know how rare that is? You know the one? Most doctors now will tell you that they believe that boy-girl twins are 2 pregnancy episodes. I used to think that was insane. My daughter used to tell my mom, you got pregnant twice. I didn't think it could happen. And then there was this case in Atlanta, and this woman had these 2 different looking twin boys, and finally she went and had DNA run. They were 2 different fathers. I'm like, oh my God. And they were twins. So all kinds of mutations happen, and they're very, very real. So we were mutated. I was a very autistic child. My mind, I could do the delta forming in my hair. I could compartmentalize like I do with this style that I use, the blues. But as you get older and you learn, and I learned how to do it through the environment and the landscape. I would spend hours and hours, if not days, on these incredible hikes. My parents let me do it. I grew up in this incredible landscape, much like Calvary. You could just go forever. And I learned to love the birds. I learned to love the sun. I learned to love the environment because there was plenty of it that was untouched still then. It had not been ruined. It was, the western frontier still out there where I lived. Not now. It's been, monetized at every inch, nook, and cranny by greed and wealth. We let these sicko fake Christians in their hairspray, greed, wealth, the evil, we let them take the field. We let them take the field because of the media. We did not hold the account because we have no lawyers with any balls. If the lawyers would have sued some of these motherfuckers, I can't get a lawyer to do anything because American lawyers are no-ball scum. Now, by the way, I've been talking to the USS Reagan lead attorney back and forth, and I really, really hope, because what happens, as these things get ready to go to court, they don't want it. The hearings were going to happen, and that's public record. In the United States, anybody can sue anybody still. And it's public domain. And people will get it. We will get it. Megan Rice hearing? No. Yeah, they don't let television cameras in there, but the transcript is there, which I've read online. There's guys like me. Oh, yeah, I'm paid journalist reading. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm whatever. I don't get paid. It's pretty sick when these guys have millions at their fingertips, if not billions, CBS, NBC, ABC, Reuters, BBC. They won't use it? No, they do the opposite. They use it against us to try to kill us. That's malice. That's against the fucking law. That's fucking illegal. So I've been telling them, don't you dare take the settlement. You know they're going to offer a big one to all those guys. Oh, your family members are dead. It's like when they came to me and offered through the so-called settlement in the Justice Department on my dad. I said, you think money can replace my dad? Take your fucking money and stick it in your fucking ass. I don't want your fucking money. I've been trying to get an attorney to sue in my cause because not only did they know they were going to kill the atomic veterans when they nuked them, and by the way, that government settlement, none of those guys got any of the money. That's been extorted. I'm like, they knew they were going to kill their kids. Their unborn offspring. They knew it. Keller knew it. It's been documented at Berkeley. The head of the snake, Livermore, John Holdren. Where do you think he came from? Eugenics U. Tell Berkeley. We'll talk more about this on Thursday. I'm glad my phone worked. I had to freaking pay a bunch of money to that scumbag weasel T-Mobile on my roaming charges today, but, I'll do all the dirty work. That's okay. I'll do it because I got to get the right.
All hands on deck, all hands on deck. All nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. They'll be calling you a radical. Twin Gate, 311, whatever you